Hello and welcome to What Map, the map review show for City Skylines. There are tens of thousands of maps in the workshop now, and so finding the right one for your next build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review one, using our 5-star rating for aesthetics, detail and gameplay potential, awarding only the very best the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Friday's What Map. It's the last one before the weekend, so get your slippers on, lean back and enjoy today's episode. And today's map is completely different from anything we have done on the show so far to date. So that's going to make a change, I think. Shall we get on with it? Why not? Today's map is Forgotten Valley by Marcel XX666. And it is a pucker. It really is. Now the resources are set up for the 25 squares centre, but you can play right to the outside of the map, although it does get more tricky as you head towards the outside. Let's check those roads out. Well, first of all, you can see the terrain is very lumpy bumpy, challenging. It is for the advanced player, and yet the roads are roughly smooth. They're not bad. They could do with a little bit more finesse, but they are not bad. We'll come back to the railway in a minute and we'll review that shortly. Let's check the bridge there. Ooh, it looks like it could have been dodgy, but that's actually well placed. Humpback as well, which is nice to see as well. Usually that's flat topped that bridge, isn't it? And here's your start square down here near the water. Lots of build plane there, but it is on quite a gradient. So there's your challenge. In fact, this entire map is a great big hollow, a great big crater heading down. It's way below sea level. That is basically the Dead Sea. All the water is heading into there, and it must be evaporating because, my goodness, the amount of water that is pouring into that central lake. But we will look at that in a brief while. And that bridge, yeah, we'll look at that a bit later as well. A little bit of drifting in the roads here. And now this bridge is slightly uneven. Once again, check out my guide to perfect bridges. You'll find it in my playlists. That'll tell you how to clear that up. That could have been so much better. I mean, it's not awful. It's almost there. It's just not right. Shall we? No. I think we'll head off this way. We've already been to the centre of the map a little bit, haven't we? So we'll head off and see what happens when you start climbing up, because this is the outside wall of the crater again as you're heading up. It's steep, but not too steep. Well within the boundaries of what you'd expect a car or a truck to take. Now the rail. And the rail is going to be troublesome, as you can see already. Now it's going to be a hell of a locomotive to be able to take this hill, especially on the up. And here. Right, now this could have all been terraformed just to make it a little bit easier, because trains don't like lumpy bumpy. And like I say, the roads are perfect. Well, not perfect. The roads are pretty good. This is down the division, I'm afraid. This is championship level. And here, no need for that at all. And that could have been easily smoothed down. And then through the tropical forests. Now we could head left, but I want to go to the right, because the couple of bridges that we saw earlier. Why have we stopped? Come on, keep it going. God, these damn locomotives. Where are we? Oh yes, there's a couple of bridges that we really want to have a look at down here. See, this one's not too bad. Once again, I wouldn't have it going over the road, but it is. And it's not so bad. The slopes are within... Oh, here's a bridge. Now, this one. I mean, Okay, there's no reason why it shouldn't be able to climb like that, but it looks a bit awful. Awkward? Awful or awkward? Here, now this one's worse. Here, because especially this bit at the bottom there, it's very, very sharp. No locomotive's going to be able to take that. Should have started it about here and then a gentle incline all the way up rather than that steep turn. But let's give it the benefit of the doubt. And now this I like. This I like, a little chiseling along the top of the ridge here. And then we hit another bridge, which we'll skip over because it's actually not so bad. Look, see, not so bad. And then down the hill, over a couple of bumps, but they're within tolerance as well, which is good. And then pick up a bit of speed down here. Hooray! Let the brakes off. A little bit more steam to the tiller or something. And then this. Oh, didn't we time that right to see that? How that stayed on the rails, nobody knows. Nobody knows. Well, that was fun. Anyway, having completed that, we head off towards this cutting, and this is quite good. So anyway, what do you reckon on the railway compared to the roads? Me, it's definitely down a gradient. A gradient? Oh, I'm making up these words as I go along. And this, why? Why? And that's why. Tell you what, let's have an asset review, shall we? This one's a nice one. This is Parker Loft by Prosper. And this is what, converted, what is it they call these? Warehouse apartments, isn't it, I believe? Very New York. With the ground floor, for, possibly commercial ground floor. But I think it looks quite good. It's very well put together. There's a few of those glass panels in the windows being replaced where they've been smashed over the years. Top's a bit bland, but actually I like that. So that is a G Parker Loft by Prosper. Today's asset of the day. And we'll head back to Forgotten Valley. Now, it's not quite an island. Right the way around the outside, you've got all this water. And then, when you get around to the top, yeah, there's a little bit of land there, but you follow it through. When you get to the back to the top, there's a little bit of a connection at the top. There. See? Just right there. Now let's follow the rivers down. And the rivers... There's not much finesse with these rivers, but they are rough and ready. And they do kind of work once you let the water settle down on them. And in the middle, you've got this great big lake. Now, pretty much anywhere you dump your waste, it's going to end up in there. That is going to be a stinky old lake by the end of this. There's a bit of a problem if you're planning on using the map, but I'm sure you will find a way of making it work. Now we're going upstream, clearly. And then you've got all this, look at this rough terrain. Imagine trying to make that, build your city on there. Loads of terraforming work going to need to be done there. A proper challenge. And like I say, it's definitely not a map for the inexperienced player. So anyway, coming back down the hill now. Or shall we go and have a look up here? Let's have a look up here. Oh, we've got this extra feeder type river lake thing at the top there. Lake thing. And then we have the waterfall. And this is a good waterfall. Double split waterfall. Feeding into 3 separate rivers. At which there they are, you see. Now, would you build on those central islands? And if you were going to, yeah, I don't know if you'd want to, really. It's tricky. Tricky map. Definitely an advanced player's map. And it all slopes inwards towards that central lake. Oh, excuse me, voice is going. So anyway, as we try and find a place to land, I suppose we should think about coming up with some scores for this map. Where should we land? I know, roundabouts here. Aesthetically, I like the map for being different, and I'm going to give it 4 stars for that. Although it's not a beautiful map, it is different, and I'm going to reward it. Detailing, some of the detailing is only 2-star level, but there's a lot of effort gone in, and so I'm upping it to a 3, although it's a 2.5 really. And gameplay potential, I'd like to give it a 4, but it is very, very challenging, so 3 stars for that. So that's Forgotten Valley by Marcel XX666. And that concludes that. Well, thank you for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Don't forget, we want to hit 20 likes by the end today, so get on and hit that button right now. And I'll be back tomorrow with another map. See you then.